one for a few hours now.
Yeah, it's been a really long time, but enough from us. Don't worry, the series is gonna be great. LA Thieves trying to come out and get their the second win of the entire season so far. Starting off on this hotel, going up against the Florida roster. I feel like Florida need to come out swinging. One play that I'm really focused on has to be Havoc. Overall on the season, a .76. This is a guy who, when he joined that Minnesota roster last year, he was a main slayer. He has to do it today versus a team like the Thieves.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He's going to have to do it versus one of the more powerhouse slang rosters that we have in the CDL. I mean, they're the defending champions, for God's sake. But off the start, you do see a nice little headbutt over toward P1. LAT started things off with more preferred spawns. Mutineers doing their best to at least make P1 competitive, if not trying to fight for that spawn as well at the same time. They do have a few players in the back, and it looks like job may be done for that.
Yeah, job is well done right there for Florida. They control the spawns for the P2 going into this next hard point. Now all you have to do is hold the pressure, pushing through Jules. Havoc at least finds one, relieves a little bit of that pressure, but his team is going to be fully set up. Now you have to watch the pitch from the back. Fortunately, Vico is going to lose that first gunfight, so the trade battle is already going to start, and LA Thieves come in flying.
Oh, they just run in with a point to prove. So you can have those spawns all that you'd like. A great little break there coming in from Soul Man in the back lines is going to be Havoc. However, spawns are still close for Mutineers. They break through with two, relying on Havoc to help try to lead the way. As we said, a player to look out for. Currently, Vaznev in hand. At least puts one away, but the Mutineers, I tell you what, Jay, did not really go the way that they would have expected given this opening hill. LAT making them work for every second.
Yeah, now they need to get this remaining 20 seconds because you are going to lose that rotation over towards Kitchen. You have to give yourself at least a little bit of a lead to try to execute this break on towards the next hard point. Havoc's going to pop that dead silence, slowly work his way up through carpets. Vico actually is going to find that first bullet onto Envoy, so now it's going to all fall into the hands of Octane. Kenny's also going to drop, so now Octane in the 1v2 has to win gunfights.
Oh, how about the rookie trying to lead the way on the 5 spree? Loses his teammate, loses his life, loses the streak. And with that, LAT are able to hold a very big situation for them. As we said, they had that rotation. Mutineers were there. They come knocking. And LAT will retake that advantage. Good old Dylan Envoy trying to cause some havoc, cause some problems in the middle side of the map. He puts away 2. Florida, they're knocking on the door. The problem is that really only half the team is there. Yeah,
you need to get the break now because you see the spawn starting to flip. Havoc is able to take down Kenny, so that was the first player on the rotation for the LA Thieves. But now LA Thieves, they had a great hold on this kitchen hill. Envoy, unfortunately, he's going to drop, but the final 15 is going to go in favor of Florida. But if you're the LA Thieves, you can take that because now you have that rotation over towards the next hill. They are a step ahead right now.
Yeah, LAT unfortunately did have the early checkout. Positive being is the fact that they're at the concierge desk first. So they'll start things off in the more advantageous spot as we head in toward our 4th hill in the first set of rotations. It feels a little bit like Florida's been playing off the back foot. Positive for them, however, is that they've got their rookie going off right now. 13 and 5. Vico, a man on fire. Some great work coming in from him. As he does fall, though, again for Florida, it's about trying to make your way, track through the middle side of the map. Hand in hand go Bracken Major Maniac. The AR is trying to clear the way.
Oh, this is so difficult. Look at the setup right now from the Thieves. You had Envoy all the way pushed out towards bedroom. He's the player that put a lot of focus for Florida. You got to be able to at least take that guy down if you want to try to attack this from the front, but they just give it up. They said, no, setup way too strong. Unfortunately, they do get the spawns in towards the back, but now once again, they're off the back foot. Do not have the rotation going into this diner hill. Fully set up are going to be the Thieves. Hasn't been good. At least the 2 times that these are fully set up, they were only able to get at least 15 seconds. But now someone has to hit the route, and it's going to be Major Maniac taking his sweet time to go all the way around kitchen.
You'll see if Major's play will pay off. Slowly and surely, trying to make his way around the corner. Envoy there to read him. A nice little spree going for multiple players. Actually, both the sub players were on a bit of a spree there for a moment. As we highlighted Kenny, now with the Vaznev in hand after the recent role change up in terms of the guns, the metas, all of that wonderful stuff. A lot of people wondering how LAT would play, and at least so far throughout a very small sample size of the first few hills, looks like it's going pretty well.
Yeah, they're not worried. Their setups right now are just way too damn strong. Florida has not been able to get a break in, even though they do win the trade battle as of right now. That's going to be 3 dead. They're able to challenge the last player on the point, which is going to be Octane. Once again, they get the final 15 seconds. But this time around, they will have those spawns for back plat. It's going to be a huge one-on-one between Envoy The other player that's pushing around the back, which is going to be Brack. Brack reads it beautifully. Big first kill. Should allow Florida to now get set up.
And this is really the first hill, Jade, that I think the Mutineers have. I mean, P2, technically, they didn't have spawns off the start, but it just feels like they've been playing catch-up all throughout the first set of rotations. Not being their first. We'll see if they can finally start to lock one down. And this isn't a hill necessarily known for its money hill potential. There is a chance for it. However, as we say that, a few begin to fall. LAT, they reclaim control. And this is bad news for the Mutineers considering our current scoreline.
Yeah, this is bad news. They take down that last player who's pushing out towards bedroom. Now you see the spawns do flip. So now all of LA Thieves get the information that they're going to try to break this through bad kitchen. Vika with great shots to take down Kenny, but Envoy immediately there for the trade. Another final 15. This is going to go in favor of Florida, but you can't keep racking up on these 15s when you're allowing LA Thieves to get a good 45. Still a comfortable lead right now for the Thieves going into the second rotations.
You see LAT trying to prefer, again, those P2 spawns. You want to be in the more advantageous spot. P1 is nice, but you definitely prefer to have those money hills locked down. Great work coming in from Octane and Draza. However, I want to throw it to the other side of the stage. See how the comms are sounding right now with the Mutineers.
I can play loose. I can play loose. Wait for me, guys.
Lily's really weak for you.
Try to play P2. Nice. Give me a phone booth.
Yeah, he's couches at a time. On point.
I'm one red door. I'm double dead.
Nice, good job. Let's get all this done.
Yeah, tuck out.
Yeah, I'm
gonna wrap P2.
Red door. Oh my god. Good job, Mike.
I'm being double.
Nice, good job, Mike.
Look my cat. I'm
I fell down. Lily's Mike.
I'm gonna come couches. I'm dead. Okay. No, bed got me. Make sure we hold this time. Bed's getting through.
Can someone look my left?
I spawned. I'll get my double pick. Do reception desk on me. I'm coming new. Come get my Sadie pinch. Coming on. Reception dead. Nice. We're missing one. He could be back spotted backstairs maybe. They're gonna be crossing bed here. I'm gonna try to cut that. We're missing one. He could be on reception. No, one's Lily. Top cat on. One's couches.
He's really weak to reception. I'm one shot. I gotta lay down.
Ayo, someone kill the guy reception.
One's already spawned. To my left.
Reception dead. Backstairs. He's going back spot side.
Backstairs. They could spawn the back.
I got your back side.
Spawn. Bar side.
Gucci on me. In the back dead. Gucci draws it. Gucci draws back. Close back broken. Close side broken. Stun and weak.
Single. One shot single.
I'll get your single.
And I don't know about you, Lando, but all I heard, at least in the beginning of that listening, was, oh my God, Mike. Oh my God, Mike. He got a 5-piece on the middle of the hill. That was super hilarious. Obviously, the gas right there for Florida. They were able to get a good chunk time off of that middle hill, fight this P2 all the way to the very end, and sort of got themselves right back into this game. Now they just have to win a rotation gunfight, and you see the mini-map. They will be the first over towards that kitchen side.
Yeah, it was very, nice, calm, cool, collected. Like I said, a lot of praise given to Major Maniac. I guess maybe one of their veteran leaders when it comes down to this team. But all things aside, this is the hill that we got to focus on. An opportunity for Florida to get back in this game. An opportunity for Thieves to only extend what currently is a 30-point advantage. And there you have it. We called upon the Vaznevs to try to put in some work for Thieves. Kenny and Envoy go big for 3. They open up the floodgates, and Envoy only continues to see success. Kenny watching over for him, going over toward the wood plat, continuing to clear out Florida. Another lead extension, 25 away.
Yeah, and this is tough. Florida need this break, or this game is basically going to be done and dusted. Major does find the first. The trade does come in. That's going to be 3 net. Another final 15 goes in favor of Florida. Now they're going to be off the back foot, off this rotation. It's all going to come down to these gunfights. Someone has to win a gunfight. You have 2 players who are spawning over towards that bedroom side. It's going to be all-out pressure from the front. You cannot allow the Thieves to get closer and closer to closing out this game.
Nice little slithering being shown coming out of Envoy. Kenny, meanwhile, slaying out with the Vaz. As we said, big player to look out for throughout this series. So far in the hard point, squeaky clean. 22 and 17. Mutineers, 5 more seconds. You got to jump into the point. You got to try to make a play. It's a crossfire. Literally no man's land as they rush in toward the bar. They line up, they fall, and there you have it. As lovely as you'd like, LA Thieves closing out a nice little opening hard point. And I think Octane might have just woken up.
Yeah, LA Thieves just played a great opening.
Be cool. I know that was one of the biggest positives, right? Getting picked up to this Florida Mutineers team, right? Florida goes for the major investment when it comes down to challengers. They have 2 players that had a hand in winning every single challengers LAN last season between both Brack and Vehicle. But not only was it the accolades for both of them, but also very well known when it comes down to their comms. I think Vehicle's like 19 years old, but feels like he can definitely lead a team early on. As we said, his rookie season, Brack really his second official season outside of like Black Ops 4. A young team filled with some vets. We'll see if they have the ice when it comes down to S&D. And speaking of the man, Brack, nice little first blood to start things off.
And this is exactly how I was expecting Florida to come out in this S&D. Come out swinging. They get the opening first too. The bomb is going to be planted as well for that top plat. So you can get a little clutch spot just in case your teammates do drop. But one player is going to stay in towards sight. That's going to be Havoc. Octane picks up the Vaznev. Does not have dead silence to work with. Brack also takes down one. Now all left up to Octane. And that's the way you set the tone right there if you're Florida. You do the non-stop aggression. Now you're going to force LA Thieves to make the adjustments on defense. We got to have someone in that site because that bomb plant was way too easy for the Mutineers. Up 1-0.
Yeah, you can tell, right? They just came into round 1 with an absolute game plan. I guarantee as soon as that hard point hit, it's like, okay, S&D on El Asilo. How do we want to play round number 1? And it is picture perfect. As you said, the first blood leads to the instant bomb plant. And from there, LAT, maybe a little bit of subtane action. Who knows? Maybe we can see more of that inside of the warehouse. However, it does not work out that time. We flip the sides. LAT, their first opportunity at attack. And it looks as if it is standard stuff. Into the warehouse we go.
Just going to take their time. Florida is doing a great job of just maintaining courtyard side. So now they can push up. Be a little bit aggressive on the right. But the bomb plant is going to go down for the LA Thieves. So far in the season, they have 9 bomb plants, but only 4 round wins. Before retake, 40 seconds. What can Florida do?
Oh, and a great first blood comes in from Vehicle. He had dead silence in that moment. Both the rookies, or I guess, you know, again, Brack kind of somewhat questionable. Anyway, 2v4, LAT, how do they play this? Envoy, solid as ever, comes away with 2, tags up the 3rd, and leaves Octane in a position to clutch. And there we have it, Florida Mutineers. They walk away with the early picks, and despite the nice little double coming in from Envoy, they collapse and they take round 2.
Yeah, right there, Florida. They were not worried at all. Once you take courtyard side, you know that no one's going to pinch out through top money. No one's going to push towards your bottom double doors. They just hold their pre-aims down. Vico opens up with a big first blood to take down that player being aggressive on their side. Brack, the player that was overextending towards B, trying to catch any players lurking up that side of the map through field, takes him down. And then in the 4v2, you play your trades. Even though Envoy makes it a little bit scary, they come out on top of the numbers in Florida. 2-0.
I'm going to see LAT already start to make some adjustments, and they talked about that at the start of this map, Jay.
That guy's strong.
Loss. Oh, the nice little stun gets tossed out. They actually did this in a previous El Asilo search and destroy. Remember, Octane ended up getting the pick, but having to adapt in Florida. Crafty as you'd like, right? They've been playing aggressive. They've been playing up in your face. And as we head into the 3rd round, not an inch moved.
Yeah, this is exactly how you want to play, though, because when you start off your first attacking round super aggressive, you know that LA Thieves have to switch it up. They cannot play passive. They have to change their positioning up a little bit. So let's try to just catch someone lacking. Because now the bomb is slowly going to approach towards top money. First gunfight's going to be here. Envoy does find the first, but Vico with the trade. Now Octane with that sniper pistol in hand, he has to be careful because one player actually slips up all the way towards top radio tower, and Major Miniac is now going to be behind enemy lines.
Oh, he is indeed. He is indeed. This is the only area of the map where I feel like you can't be heard if you don't have dead silence. And they're making the full-on wrap. Yeah, Octane, he gets found out. So the calls are going to be, hey, at least someone's on our flank. Little do they know, Major Maniac is already at the top mountain. Throws out some shots, and now it is on to Kenny and Draza. And we'll have, oh, you have it. Strictly up to Kenny. At least brings it to a 1v2. Bomb's going to get planted. Beagle and Brack left.
Takes the super long route. Are on the backside of Cliff. He has an SMG in hand. Does not have any dead silence to work with as well. And Vehicle's going to be the player that sits in towards the site. Just make sure nothing fishy happens. Brack is just going to watch his middle alley. Vehicle's going to give the call out. The turn comes in. And that's a beautifully played around right there from Florida. Great way for them to get that information. Even though they do get first blooded, the trade is there. They push up through radio side, and then they slowly wrap around towards B, slowly picking apart the LA Thieves players. Once they soloed out Brack towards this yellow van, it was basically all chalked. Because the other guy, even though Kenny picks up a kill from bottom middle, you're able to get that bomb plant down at B, and then the crossfire is beautifully set up. Florida not making any mistakes so far in the search and destroy.
No, not at all. And one stat that we actually had coming into this was LAT, when it comes into first bloods, right? They've actually pretty decent in terms of, getting them, but once they have them, only winning 40% of those rounds. Unacceptable, without question, when it comes into search and destroy. That stat has got to be higher. And in round number 3, seems like still dealing with a few of the same problems. Florida, can they make it 4 in a row? LAT back on attack and eyeing up that mattress bomb site over at A. A few early bits of damage in from V-Colt. Nice little nade over the top. The frag lands directly under Kenny's feet. Octane, he gets dropped as well. Florida look to be in the driver's seat. Havoc's here to everybody running around the warehouse. And it is Kenny and Draza, rather Envoy and Draza, just trying to get out of dodge.
Draza's at least able to take down one. Havoc there with the trade, though. So now it's on Envoy. In the 1v2. He does have bomb in hand, but look at the setup right now for Florida. Not going to let anyone slip through. Major Maniac's able to get the information and get out with his life. And this might work out right here for Envoy. Big first kill. Now 25 seconds left. Brack is in a great position to take him down, but Envoy's playing this beautifully.
Brack dead silence. Envoy dead silence. Here they come. Here they come. Wow. And it's going to be Envoy clutching out for the team. Prior teammates going up against each other. But it will be the first round for Thieves. And it comes off the back of a lovely little clutch coming in from Dylan Hannon. Great work from him. And thank goodness the Thieves got on the board there, Jay, because it was looking grim.
Yeah, that was a 4v2 as well. Like right there, Florida, everybody take a chill pill. We just literally got the opening 2 kills. They have to plant the bomb. We do not have to be aggressive and through bottom pool, especially if not everyone is going to be on the same page. We just gave a lot of one-on-one gunfights, and LA Thieves are able to capitalize on it. Now take their very first round of the game. Momentum is totally going to be on their side, especially when Envoy's clutching up plays like that. Setup's going to be a little different, though. No courtyard control. They're going to just sit double stacking in towards this A-bomb.
Utility tossed, and everybody's got those headsets turned up. That's without question.
Without question.
Here on the warehouse here inside of El Asilo, that's really what it's all about. We've even seen some players just be like, yeah, I'm just going to sit in the corner. I'll just be the guy that just listens for every single bit of information possible. Literally call out the birds chirping on this map individually. Yep, we all just heard a step, and so did Envoy. Where are they looming? Where could they be? And right now, Octane with the sniper has just continued to be aggressive over at that B side. Only player that he really could find a pick on. At the moment, best target, maybe Major Maniac. He could be jumping into his sights before long. 25 seconds left. Somebody's going to get going.
Somebody's got to go, but Brack might have just played this beautifully. The late rotation towards back green is able to open up this B bomb side. I thought it was flipped. I thought Florida on defense with how much map control they had on the opponent's side. But now in the 4v2, make it a 4v1. Beautiful, beautiful play call. All left up to Envoy in the 1v4. Not going to be easy to get done. He does take down one. Major Maniac, we're not going to go for the complete chow, but this round is basically done and dusted. The play call right there from Florida. Slowly wrap through that rate. Wait a minute. All right, you got it.
I got it. It's over.
My God.
It's over. It's done, Jay. Take it away. That was, I don't know. Envoy's just a man on a mission right now.
Yeah, so right there, the play call was beautiful. You take, once again, radio tower control. Major Maniac slowly works his way up to the opponent's base. And while his teammates are doing that, Brack slow plays his spawn, wraps his way towards back green, because right there, LA Thieves, they get the information. They're pushing through courtyard. They're probably going to go for a B push. But when Brack breaks their setup by wrapping back towards green, he finds that opening 2-piece. The bomb gets planted, and then you play it beautifully. Got a little scary there at the end, but Florida, once again, not making any mistakes. Beautiful round.
And right now, Kenny and Octane combining for 1 in 10. Oh. Okay, well, there you have it, Octane. All right. Just had to get a nice little call out, and he'll deliver. Okay. Hate to see that. That would have been a nice little addition to the montage. And there goes Major Maniac. At the very least, it is a second pick for the Thieves. And as we said, after a round like that one, They definitely want to try to get another one on the board. 5-1 looks a lot different in comparison to 4-2. And that is exactly what we have in terms of life count right now. 2v4, Florida Mutineers, Havoc and Brack. What can they find?
Oh, and Havoc's able to take down one. Bomb is going to be getting planted down towards A, but Havoc will get traded. So now it's all left up to Brack. They know that this is the player that usually loves to play over towards that B site. But Brack is going to find himself in towards Courtyard. The challenge is going to come in towards Top Money. Not able to win it. And that's a beautiful play right there from LA Thieves, especially on the back of Octane, finding that first blood. Great job for them to keep themselves in this search and destroy. Now down 4-2.
We'll see what they can do off of that. Again, LA Thieves, I mean, a roster that really involves all 4 players when it comes into comms. Like, all these guys have got experience, been on the brightest of stage. Like I said, they're the defending champions, for God's sake. But again, oftentimes can hear a few different players giving out call-outs, giving out different points of interest, strategies, all of it. And right now, Envoy very much leading the way for the team. We'll see if maybe that pick from Octane, a nice little second kill from Kenny, gets those two going. And if they start to arrive, this could look like a very, very different search destroy and a very different series. Deddy popped, and Envoy looks to make the play through the back lines. Major Maniac, as if he knew exactly what was happening, reads it. Another first blood for Florida.
Yeah, read like a book right there. Great plays out of Major to get that first blood. So now if you're Florida, you can slowly start to work up. You have the man advantage. Just double chow in towards the safe bomb, just in case one player is going to be sitting on this site. But Octane's in a great position just watching this cross. He's able to spot 2. So he gets that information, and the timing might be beautifully. Major Maniac does get one with the nade, but Octane, unfortunately, with the stick, is not going to get a kill. All left up to Draza in a 1v4.
That has got to be so frustrating if you're Octane. Like,
that's tough.
You see 2 players' shoulders as they run into Mattress. Then you're like, okay, I got the pistol. Let me throw out the nade, do some damage. I'll at least find one, surely. The nade literally just clips the side of the window, and as he challenges, he just dies. I don't know how much overall difference it would have made, but we're talking about Octane. Kenny trying to get on the board. They lose their main man, the main slayer in this search, destroy an Envoy, and from there, it all falls to pieces. Nice little responding round there out of the Mutineers once again, as Elisilo has looked very clean and very, very comfortable. We'll see if they can put him away here.
You will have to see, as early aggression from Florida to take control of this A-bomb. The double stack does come in once again. Brack the safety net, just in case any players try to overextend through B. But now it's on the LA Thieves. How are they going to decide to play this? Which is the player they're going to decide to solo out? It's looking like players are going to just push up towards this B bomb. Brack's going to have a field day if they cannot figure where he is. Oh, well, good stun.
Aware of the common positioning. And there you have it. Kenny able to strike for the first. Brack has to back on up. Octane's there to drop him. Vehicle trying to do all he can inside of the Mattress, but they call upon one man. And that man is Major Maniac. Bomb getting ready to get planted. And we'll see what Mike can do. Not an easy task by any means, but maybe he's been in more difficult spots. And you've got all 3 players huddled around that position. They're not going to give anything away for free.
Yeah, 35 seconds, 1v3. You have 2 players who are basically playing inside the bomb site. The other player in Envoy watching the cross. They're just trying to get any information of how they are playing the setup, but they aren't giving up anything until Envoy gives up the free kill. So now 1v2 with 20 seconds left. The nade is going to come in. You do not get a hit marker, but it doesn't look like there's going to be enough time on that clock for him to get both kills and defuse it. LA Thieves get their 3rd round on the board, and they've all been on the attacking round. So far, they're 0-4 on defense. We got to clutch up on a defensive round if we want to stay alive in this game a little longer. But great play call right there from the LA Thieves. Get the first blood onto Havoc. You solo out Brack. You get the bomb down. Played it beautifully. 5-3.
This is what we just talked about, right? When it comes down to just making adjustments. As we said, Envoy getting involved in the comms. He's maybe making the call coming into this round. Draza as well. Just trying to adapt to, again, what is going to be a very crafty team in the Florida Mutineers. It feels like the record, the round win percentage is a little deceiving when it comes down to this group. We've called them the 2-3-5 masters potentially, but still have to close out this one versus the Thieves. 1 round to go. Thieves still working from the back foot. First blood would be nice, and Draza definitely sees and now feels that tactical get tossed out. And with that, Major Maniac will give some comms to his teammates, but take a look at the wrap coming in from Thieves. They've soloed out one, and they instantly go for the pinch. Can he able to drop the first one? The rookie goes bye-bye. And Draws is able to find another one as well. Trade still working out for the Thieves, as it's all on to Major Maniac once more.
And I'm pretty sure the bomb is planted for him towards his top plat, but that stun is going to give him this position. He's able to find that kill on Adraza. They're on the defuse. Major, unfortunately, is not going to read it. There's too many bodies he has to worry about, and LA Thieves get their very first defensive round win of the S&D. It all comes with the aggression. Even though the bomb goes planted down for the Florida Mutineers immediately, just so much map control that the LA Thieves are able to take. You be aggressive through that field side, you take control of their top plat, and you win a majority of your gunfights into bottom middle towards bottom pool. Great work right there from the Thieves to keep themselves alive in this game a little longer. Far from done.
You know, Major Maniac's been the guy in the back as well, and I think once Drazen learns a little bit of that information, he and Envoy just sees it from
Leave him alone.
Some great adaptation being shown from the Thieves, starting to bring themselves back. They're down 5-2, now 5-4. And what appeared to be an A hit very well could be a rotation now. We'll see how quickly the Mutineers players look to adapt to this. Major Maniac.
Oh,
And Draza checks top shelf. Great work from the Alaskan Assassin. Had to bring it out at least one time as they find the first blood, and they instantly go for another rotation back to A.
That's perfect because they know where Brack is. They know that Brack is the safety net at that B site. So let's get this bomb down towards A, have our man advantage, and force the retake. So now how do Florida decide to play this? They have Brack slowly trying to approach up through field side. One player trying to push out through courtyard, which is Havoc. Vigo's actually going to go for the challenge on towards bomb, so this is going to be difficult. Two players drop, 1v4, all left up to Brack and LA Thieves. Flawless attacking round to now bring us to a round 11.
To round 11 we go. Down 5-2. They brought it back 5-5.
World champs for a reason.
Was the lifeline, right, Jay? This is the lifeline for the Mutineers. Yeah. If they don't win this search destroy, it looks very, very terrifying.
Yeah, because then it relies for you to beat the Thieves roster in a hardpoint or in a respawn, and it's been really difficult to do that, especially in that hardpoint game mode. So this is a search and destroy they need to take. They're going to be on the defensive side. This time you cannot allow the Thieves to get that first blood. Draza got that kill last round with 4 health remaining. So just don't give anything up easy. We should have a great round 11.
Into it we go. Haunting times in these overtime rounds. You'll see players kind of start things off a little slow. However, Octane singled out. I think it was Major. The eagle eyes. And just to spot one over toward the top side of the arches. They work together. They single out Sam LaRue. And with that, Thieves already have to work from man disadvantage. Kenny trying to get aggressive. No Vaznev on Elisilo, and I wouldn't blame him. TAC 56 all the way home. We'll see what he can do with it. Still looking for picks.
Yeah, he just ran out of his dead silence, so now you have to slow down on your movement. You don't want to give your position up. As Draza slowly going to creep his way up towards the back B. Bomb is actually going to break his way in towards BS&D. Brack's going to take a couple shots, give up his positioning, but it's looking like the bomb should get planted. They're actually going to try to solo out Brack. They get that opening kill. 3v3, but Major with the trade.
Major with the trade. Bomb is going to get planted. Yes, it does. Draza and Kenny left up to those two, all on. Now to Kylo Ken, a 1v3 clutch. Tries to make his way carefully around the outside of the garage. A 5-2 lead. A little bit of the sweat off the brow, but it is all hype now. Mutineers will hold on to this search and destroy. It takes them around 11, but they're able to do it regardless. And what a win it must be. It felt like LATJ, they were starting to figure him out.
Yeah.
They were starting to realize, okay, Major Maniac, he likes to hold this angle. Brack, as you said, is the safety net.
5 attacking rounds underneath their belt on LSELO control, but 0 defensive rounds. So that's
not good.
Thing. They're also going up against the LA Thieves roster who haven't played this map yet on the season. They're definitely practicing it. But if you are Florida, you just have to make your adjustments on your defensive side. We have to close out one of these defensive pushes so we can push out towards green, hold a little bit more map control, and not make the job as easy for LA Thieves to capture either one of these points. Just keep the kills stagnant.
I hear that. I hear that indeed. Florida defense. Offense, great. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. as we jump into their very first offense, and well, it wasn't the greatest of starts. 2 players fall, the SMGs, as a matter of fact. We'll see what they can do. And we know on El Asilo, the easier of the two, at least has been A to start things off, and it's kind of a more of a migration later on down toward that B zone. However, off the rip, Thieves have been ultimately punishing. It is one kill for Florida to kick off this round, Jay.
Yeah, if you remember the last time that they played this map on the side of Florida, it was versus Minnesota. They were put in that hefty spawn trap. But with Major Maniac able to find that too, now relieve some of that pressure. We can get control of bottom pool. If we can win a couple of gunfights, Envoy, he's going to be the player to take down 1, takes down 2. Now all your focus is on the last 2 players approaching towards this A site. With 1 player pushed out towards green though, in Octane, the spawns are going to be a lot closer for this 8.4 Florida. They also have top radio control.
Oh gosh, but Draza, 7-1, finally hits the dirt, but still it is flank after flank.
Oh my.
Mutineers don't know which way to turn. Oh, good Lord, they finally have reached the point, but Envoy, believe it or not, is on a flank again. Mutineers, could they at least get a tick for their troubles? I mean, for God's sake, it has been so terribly tough. Oh, Draza jumps in. They get the tick. It looks like they did. At least 1 for their troubles, but that looks to be about it. Havoc gonna try to make the play. Draza, an excellent start to this El Asilo control. Ends things out at 9-2, and the Mutineers, well, Jay, we said they looked great on offense, not great on defense. That was not a good start historically.
Yeah, definitely not a good start for all the players on Florida. You basically were put in the spawn trap 15 to 20 seconds into the round. You're never going to find success like that if you can't find any kills, especially towards bottom pool. Once you lose that mid-map control, it's basically chalk, because then you're forced to overextend through either side, through field side, or try to take control of radio tower. But LA Thieves, they were ready for both pushes at any given moment. A dominant defensive round to start us off for the Thieves.
See if they can add upon it. As we said, Florida yet to win a defense on El Asilo. See if they can change that up, and they're definitely going to need to if they expect to win this game number 3, the swing mode indeed. This vehicle will start things off nicely. LAT prioritizing the arches off the start here of their attacking campaign. Some nice shots coming in from Draza. Meanwhile, it is Octane eagle eyes toward the top side of the red tower, watching over for his teammates, and they seem to be handling business quite nicely right now.
Yeah, they're calm, cool, and collected if you're the Thieves. You only have 1 player, almost 2 players on that point. They're just trying to catch a couple kills, lacking of players, trying to hit that late flank. They take down 2. They know the positioning of Brack, so it's looking like Florida are going to have to be forced to give this one up, play the defense over towards B, and it's looking a little scary, especially when you look at that kill feed.
Yeah.
No kills going in their favor, but Envoy, he's going to slip right by on towards green. Their only focus is now Havoc can break their setup.
He can indeed. At least he's able to find 1 for the moment, so it does break things apart. Really, the only sign of adversity it feels like LA Thieves have really seen so far on El Asilo control is basically that moment right there. We'll see how they handle it and start to move their way throughout the map. Currently with the life count advantage, only losing 5 members so far throughout this round number 2. And it is the newly found SMG with the Vaznev in his hands and an opportunity to possibly flank and maybe get his teammates out of a pretty tricky spot for the moment, Jay.
Yeah, that's exactly what Kenny's looking for, to take down Major Maniac so you can allow your teammates to now overextend. Major still causing problems. He does find 1, but the trade does come in. So now that left alley starts to open up. These can overextend a little bit. Now they just have to fight for that green control, but the double stack is going to be there for Florida. So Brack in a powerful position right now. He has to hold this one down.
He does, and really with that spawn manipulation, it also sets up player 5 to try to go on a spree. Vehicle, he eventually does get found out. So really, you've got players on the left and the right side of the map for the Florida Mutineers. LAT realize, hey, let's just push to the middle side of the map. Hey, it is a big warehouse after all. And again, it is Kenny trying to lead the way. Trophy down, eventually falls. But again, it could be an opportunity. They finally are able to jump onto that B zone. So time will halt for the moment. 3 players strong, now make it 2. Draws into the top side of the plat. He gets found out. Octane trying to stay alive. The only player really past that 50-yard line. This will have a few members off spawn, but again, it is work having to be put in. It feels like Florida have got every nook and cranny watched. Every nade spot has been solved, and it is a struggle right now on the top side of the map.
Yeah, you can't afford to lose the trades battle if you are Florida, but that's going to be 3 dead. And the positioning of Havoc can be so impactful. Now you give your team an extra lane that they have to run through. He finds the first, finds the second. Not gonna go for the child on the third. Old Havoc right there probably goes for that ego challenge, but this time he's gonna set up Major Maniac to find the final two. Florida have held on strong, even though they did give up 2 more segments than they did. This has been a great response for them to get themselves right back into this game. We were looking for the very first defensive round on LSC control, and it's looking like they're gonna be pretty damn close to getting it.
It looks like they will. Player 4, it was close. Maybe a few dolphin dives, and he's able to make it there, or G-slide, whatever you want to call it. Thankfully, that's not in this game, at least for now. But yeah, Florida Mutineers get their very first defensive victory on LSC control. That's right. Twitch clip it. You were here to observe it. Okay. Again, not that you'd still like to get them off of that overall A objective, but I feel like overall, Jay, it looked pretty good. Like, it felt like LAT instantly just ran into all kinds of struggles when it came down to the field. You got a bunch of players. I mean, it really felt like the Mutineers were in their element. Like, you saw Vikal and Havoc getting aggressive, Major Maniac and Brack with those tacks looking very, very well poised in the spots that they were in. Maybe a little bit of life and a little bit of confidence for this team, as they're going to need that throughout the remainder of this series and throughout the remainder of this respawn as well.
Now we just have to find a better start off on your attacking rounds. Another 2 dead, make it 3 dead in the feed. Havoc does find a trade. He also is on a 4 spree. Great shots to take down Draza before he does get traded. But now you're basically stuck in your spawn. You have to try to overextend up through this B point. Octane going to be the player to cut them off. Major does take him down. So now this opens up a little bit more map control that Florida can start to get pushed up.
You see Major Maniac and Brack trying to clear the way, as we said, for the SMGs, for the Vaznev players, but they just continue to fall. Kenny and Envoy putting in some good work. LAT Warehouse, without question, belongs to them. Major's just trying to do anything he can. Trying to do any bit of work possible. And if you're the sole man at his zone, it takes you 45 seconds to capture it by yourself. And I imagine, well, I do have a lot of respect for Major Maniac, Jay. I just don't think that he's going to have 45 seconds of free time. Going to receive a decent amount of adversity as a few players from LAT focus over at B. Meanwhile, there's a lot of fuss being made at that A zone as well. Florida on both.
Yeah, even with Major Maniac not completing 1 segment, he was just forcing the split to come in from the Thieves players. Now we have to focus on A and focus on B, but he stalls enough time for his teammates to win a bunch of those gunfights towards that A point. They should be able to close this one out, but Vico actually is going to drop. So now LA Thieves do not allow that 3rd segment to get completed, that time to get overextended. They just have to hold on to the map control. 1 player in Brack does sneak through the B, so he's going to be able to stop that clock when he needs to. But he's allowing his teammates all to slay around that 8 point. Time to play for some spawn kills.
Yeah, Brack, oh, great work. Able to find a few and take a look at where that spawn is going to come in from for the Thieves. Very top left, very backside of the mountain. That is the A point captured. Another minute added on to the clock. Currently with that life count advantage, Brack, he's still alive. After finding those 2 spawn kills, he's going to try to add Octane to the mantle. We'll save that duel for another episode as they're able to find a few. Here we go. The stack is in. They've got support.
And they know where they're spawning too. They know that they're spawning still towards the back right. You just have to win a couple of these gunfights. The second tick is going so fast. It's about to be completed. LA Thieves do get their first assist to 2 gunfights. But as long as you complete that 2nd segment, that's job well done right there for Florida. You probably weren't expecting them to all spawn over towards that cliff side. But at least completing those 2 ticks is job well done. Now 10 to 10 in lives remaining. The game has to slow down if you're Florida, because all you need is 1 clean 4 dead and the round is yours.
That's exactly right. Easier said than done. Octane, well, he gets stunned and he'll really miss that jump. So early life goes the way of the Mutineers. In some way, a first blood situation. By the way, take a look at player number 8. Brack, how is he back here? See what he can do with a bit of that information. And still trying to make the play. He's got 2 in his lines of sight. Oh, Octane's able to find him. Brack, that could have been the play that opened everything up. And with that, the Thieves, those red arrows swarm the top side of the map. A few more to find, and this one could be over. However, a few players still remain. Major Maniac just toward the outside of the field. He could go for a late dolphin dive. There's a few players. They start to fall. Only 3 lives left for the LA Thieves. They're on the point. They stack it indeed, and there you have it. Patience will pay off for Florida, as it looked like multiple times throughout that round it might have been chalked, but it's never chalked when you've got Major Maniac in the roster. Mutineers clutch up.
I had a feeling that the lives remaining were going to come into play. It was about 10-10 with 40 seconds left, but all Florida needed to do was just find a couple kills. Once those two players dropped on that point, great flank coming in from Havoc to go through that bottom middle building. Finds that two-piece, and then at that point, the spawns are all the way across the map. No more respawns for the Thieves players, and Florida now take a nice 2-1 lead. Great defensive round. They complete all segments. So now that puts them up by 4. If you're LA Thieves, you need to try to answer that if you want to have defense once again going into round 5.
Oh, you do indeed. Havoc. We've been, talking a lot about him coming into this series. It has not been a great performance. Negative 52 in the last 2 series combined. Trying to turn really the page on what has been a rough chapter 1 to MW2. Is LA Thieves, again, somewhat standard, over toward that A zone off the start. Mutineers just trying to tag him up, maybe get a little advantage when it comes down to lives. Gain some map positioning. And really all 4 players for Florida right now separate. Rack in a rock and a hard place. Octane, he's got that high ground advantage, and there he goes.
Literally, Brack was in between a rock and a hard place.
He really was, yeah.
As now the Thieves, they should be able to close out this 8-point, extend time by a minute, and already a lot of map control on their side. Envoy, it's your job to just simply stay alive where you are currently. As the pressure's going to come in towards the flank, you have multiple players from the Thieves trying to push out through radio tower side. They know that the spawns for the Florida Mutineers is going to be all over towards Cliff. But if they can find these kills, they don't even have to worry about these players at green. You just need to take these players down on that B point.
That's one from Draza, checks top shelf, drops him. And the last 2 players have got to be over toward the field, if not in their green building. Kenny able to wipe away vehicle. Meanwhile, Havoc able to find one himself. Player number 6 in Havoc, again, is the player to look out for. He'll cut away 2. And at the very least, even if he dies, he's at least done a great job. And not only has he found 2, he will find 4 in a row. Great job to apply the pressure, slowing down Thieves. Once again, Kenny trying to make the play. He's got the Vaz, he's got the tack, everything that you'd like. He tries to make a play on the backside, and that is not going to happen. Great work from Florida.
They just hold the line. They're making sure they're watching their pinch, watching every single angle to not allow any players from the LA Thieves to hit that flank. As now it's only a minute left in the game. Currently, the Thieves are down by 2 lives. Octane's able to find 1. Octane's able to find 2. There's no pressure from Florida Mutineers on the right side of the map, so the spawns are going to be all the way across. All you need is stack right now if you're the Thieves.
You absolutely do. You have to stack the point, 1 tick through, halfway there. Can they continue to do it? Trying to stay alive, trying to value their lives, but 3 hit the deck, make it all 4. LAT catch their window of opportunity, but the Mutineers with a great response, and it will not be the second tick in either. So even more work to do if you are LAT. 30 seconds to go. 1 last good push at this.
Oh, big opening kill from Vico to keep the kills stagnant. So now it turns into a 3v3. Havoc, the next player on the pinch, kind of got some great timing. Almost stopped shooting at Octane, but he's able to get the kill, stay up for his team. Major also finds another one, so it's final 10 seconds.
Okay.
If you're LA Thieves, you have to slay your way through. You have to stop this clock.
It's a current 2 versus 2. Brack trying to find a few players off spawn. Meanwhile, he doesn't know that someone's in the objective. Rounds the corner, shuts him down, and this looks to be a game for Florida. Responding in the control. And how about that? Vikala's hype. Maybe yelling out a few Vamoses, and I will join him. Vamos, Jay. Florida up 2-1.
What a map out of Florida right there, especially great plays from Havoc. I understand, like, this guy plays a lot of 1v1 search and destroy. He makes his deaths so difficult, and when you have to try to figure out where this guy is at green, he's the guy who shut down that push for LA Thieves when they had a lot of map control, when they slayed everyone.
Another interesting thing is that all 4 players of the Mutineers right now at some point last season were in challengers themselves. I mean, this would mean a lot, obviously, for all 4 of these players. We're talking about Major. It also says a lot about the challenger scene. Like, how many props have we given to them? How amazing the players, the talent that has come from the challenger scene, what impact it's made in the CDL. The fact that we could be looking at a group of 4, at some point, challenger players from last season taking down our defending world champions. it would be a headline without question coming into CDL Sunday tomorrow. But into Embassy we go. We got to keep those conversations at bay for the moment because we have got ourselves some Embassy to play. LAT off to a nice start at P1.
Yep, LAT, 16 uncontested seconds. Draza going to reposition himself into his top bathroom. Finds one, finds two, finds all three. The Alaskan Assassin. I got to follow you up with at least one time in the series.
Hey.
He's able to get a three-piece, relieve some of that pressure over towards P1, but if you're Florida, your main focus is controlling the spawns for the next hard point. They're going to be fully set up towards triple vans. They're watching the overextension through kitchen. But Octane, he's going around the deep street. He can be the guy to break their setup.
Can be indeed. Major Maniac tries to go for the drop shot. Actually does work in this game, believe it or not. Octane, though, able to drop him. Sets up shop, tosses down a trophy. Biggest thing is that where are these spawns going to come in from for Thieves? Still over toward bottom gas. Octane eventually does get dropped. That means Mutineers have early time inside of the hill, but you have got really a mixture of red and green all over this map right now. As Brack tries to set up shop, looks like Mutineers in the more preferred position. LAT hot on their heels, draws on Envoy, open things up.
Draza with a big kill, taking his time towards back kitchen, finds that opening to now allow the LA Thieves to get them off at this point. Great shots from Major to take down Draza, but it's still been a great hard point from Florida Mutineers to get themselves right back into this game. Final 25 seconds, we gotta hit the rotation. Number 7, Mitch's Major Maniac, go left, go the opposite way. Gonna decide not to do that, and it should be the Thieves for an early setup at that AC hill, and also able to get this remaining junk time off of this P2.
Yeah, it's kind of a perplexing little rotation there for Florida. Like, I was staring at the top side of the map, and it was like, I think one player instantly got picked off the spawn. Then Major decides to wrap all the way back. The rest of the teammates hit through the mid cut. Not a whole lot of presence over at the ACs. We'll see if it pans out for them. Sometimes it does, and a lot of the times it feels like if a player just hits the ladder at the right time, it could spell disaster for that roster inside of top ACs. But so far over at P3, it has been all sunny skies, and we know that sun is absolutely bright on this map. Gotta be careful if you're Octane not to turn around. Florida with a little bit of presence. They found a few in a row. Brack, to be specific, sits in the 5 spree. Envoy's hitting beams, and there's 3 down.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be the perfect opportunity for Florida to try to take control of top IC. They had full orange control. There was only one player on hill, but LA Thieves find every single kill in the feed and are able to hold this AC hill for a full 60. Give themselves a nice, comfortable cushion going in towards this P4 hard point. One player in Octane is actually going to spawn in towards the back hedges. So he's going to have a free spawn towards the back. Now it's all about Florida. Can they hold this tight setup from the bottom of the Embassy building? It's all going to be right here. Kenny does find that opening on kill on the pit, though. This is where it gets a little scary. Iron up if you're Florida.
Yeah, that's without a doubt, man. Feels like in this hill, it's difficult to break. It's also not difficult to hold, but you just have so many different entry points to look at. Definitely be on the inside versus the outside. There's no doubt, but we'll see if Draza can try to open things up. Try to hit a route. LAT, well, they're on the outside of the PD, telling them to come out with their hands up. They found a few picks. That's actually going to be 3. Great little teamwork coming in from the Thieves as they enter in from every single vantage point. But Brack cuts down 3 in a row. Eventually falls, but will set up havoc for the 1v1 victory. How about the plays out of Brack now at 13 and 6, Jay?
Such a big 3-piece to now allow his teammates to get not a full 60, probably a good 59 seconds. Beautiful plays from Florida to get themselves right back into this game, but now they find themselves late off the rotation towards kitchen. 5-point game as Brack is going to hold down top AC. He already earns that airstrike. He finds 2, and not a lot of pressure is going to be on the LA Thieves players. There's only 2 players that are pushed up towards the backside of kitchen. Brack is going to read the cutoff beautifully. The pitch is going to be here, and that is a beautifully executed break coming in from Florida.
And it's great to see it through Brack's eyes as well. Again, just on that 4 spree, he's cutting the lanes, being able to be aware of the teammates' call-outs. Mutineers with a perfect break, and a timely one at that, considering what the scoreline could have looked like. Very well could have been a lead change toward the LAT side. Brack's streak does come to an end. Vaznev, yeah, believe it or not, actually can take down ARs now. So Kenny able to put that one to good use. Major Maniac, for God's sake, has a Vaznev out as well. And that's what it's like when it comes down inside of the kitchen. It is all out chaos as everybody but 3 players hit the deck in about 2 seconds total, fighting for those final 10 seconds. And they do that as well, Jay, considering those next side spawns. A very crafty and interesting first set of rotations. Mutineers up.
Now if you're Florida, With that airstrike in the back pocket, you can use that for that P3 to not allow LA Thieves to get a full 60 on AC once again. As the spawns are going to flip, LA Thieves full control of top catwalk. They're getting some good time. Major's able to take them off forward now. Your main focus is just maintaining this backside of kitchen. You want to make sure you control the spawns going to the next hard point, because neither one of these squads should get a hefty amount of time off P1.
Yeah, P1 to P2, you got to be aware of the rotations. You also have to be conscious of the spawns. A lot of things to manage, a lot of things to keep track with. And in the midst of that, let's go on board with our defending world champions listening to the Thieves.
That's the guy here. We're playing PD, bro. I'll stay here.
First truck, on the truck. He's on your guys' truck. That point.
Duncan.
I hit him once.
On the van. Two here, two. Pinch just as well. Top flat above you.
Top flat. And one shot.
Top flat still, bro. He's still there. Still flat. I'm going gas, guys. Let's pump
on the truck. I will.
I played the bastard. Hold on 2 seconds. Maybe get you guys down in the fucking. Where they at? All the way back. Vans.
Go for me.
I will. Deep right, Ken. All the way back down.
On the van, twice. On the van.
Come on, you guys. I'm down left.
Follow laundry, some breath. Follow laundry, man.
I hear from he's like tall as my breath. I'm trying to trophy.
I got laundry. I got needed, bro. P1 major. You got that for me?
I still Two vans. Two vans. On time and single van. On time and single van. I spawned him down, bro.
P1 on us.
Tell down. Xbox on, bro. Vans is so heavy, bro. I'm absolute. Hold up. Down.
Nice. Close up.
That's fine.
It's out there. That's fine. I hit it.
I hit him 3 times. He's still mid time. Still dead. Gas. Four. We spawn here. They could be gas. Have it gas. Could be. Get on there.
That's a good time.
Have gas. Okay. Top office. Because I got gas.
No.
I mean, that was a nice little check-in with the Thieves. I mean, one of the biggest positives we talked about this roster when it came down to their championship run was, in fact, the comms. But a little bit of frustration right now, Jay, when it came down to parking lot. Like I said, everybody was calling things out properly. It just felt like they couldn't get the kills. Mutineers, this has been beautiful hardpoint.
Yeah, Florida's setup right there was just way too strong. They had everything cut off. They were forcing all of LA Thieves to try to attack this through PD, and the streak gets called in beautifully. Exactly what you needed, not the team kill, but at least the break does come in. You do not allow the Thieves to get a full 60 hold to get themselves right back into this game. Keep it a little bit stagnant. Now it's only one player left on the point for the Thieves roster. The final 25 should be theirs. But if you are Florida, you need to do the same exact thing. Crack 26-13. Already another force 3. This young challenger player, used to be a former pro player, is making it move right now in this series.
And like we said, what it would mean for all 4 of these players to walk away with this series. Again, so many people calling out the Mutineers. What kind of roster change was this? What kind of players are you bringing onto this squad? Right now, they're up 20, really making LA Thieves sweat it out. As now we head in toward the office. What could be a hard point that really settles the score? What could decide the series? Comes down to how well Florida hold and how strong LAT can be on the break, as Brack called upon again. Goes for the dolphin dive. Blows out the gunfight. That's going to be 2. Pulls out the Vaz on a little bit of a heater. But again, Mutineers, they are feeling it right now. Kenny thankfully comes away with 2. Back and forth we go, and LAT a timely break at that.
Yeah, LA Thieves need this time right here, but that's going to be 2 dead in the feed. Florida know that they have controls of spawns for that kitchen hill, but look at the mini-map. The spawns are actually going to flip with so much aggression coming in from Florida. They have to try to execute a break once again on towards kitchen. Great shots from Major to pick up that last kill. The final 15 is going to be in favor of Florida. Should put them up by 30 points. Brack and Havoc off the rotation, find 2 kills, and now this is scary because the LA Thieves need to get a break on a very difficult hill.
They do indeed. And Havoc, he's dolphin diving side to side, tosses out a nade, but does get dropped. A big opening pick there from the Thieves, and it comes at the hands of the Dark Prince. Nade tossed out, second wave. Now it's going to be on to Brack. Oh, and he finds 3. But Octane, he comes away with 2 of his own. Position known in Thieves. Opposite side spawns. This is going to be a little bit of a pinch. Octane comes away with all 4. It is a team wipe from SMG Tane. My goodness, Sam LaRue. It feels like Thieves are making the clutches when they have to. A big 20 seconds left still here at kitchen.
Sam LaRue for 2 with 2 different weapons. Wet Superman right there. Picks up the fast F SMG Octane. Can do it all. as a much-needed break comes in for the Thieves. Keeps this game really, really close. Now we find ourselves on the third rotation of hard points. Florida, their main focus is to make sure they control over towards parking lot. They find that initial gunfight. Havoc does find two, causing problems around Laundry. And now Florida able to get some more much-needed time off of this P1, getting closer and closer to 250.
My goodness, this has been such a tense hard
Banger.
point. Dude, it just feels like LAT. Opposite, really the total opposite of what was the hotel hard point for game number one. Like, it was consistently Florida working from the back foot. This one has felt the opposite. Thieves working from the back foot, and that's what happens when a roster who's been counted out starts to get some momentum. They start to get some hype. As now 20 big seconds still left at P1, and you can still walk away with this. I mean, this is great time right now if you are the Mutineers and LAT. They just got the top side spawn. They've got the advantage if they go for this gunfight.
Yeah, you got to break through the street side if you're LA Thieves. A good initial gunfight from Kenny to take that player off of that initial time. But the pinch now is going to come in for Major Maniac. He's going to be the guy that goes through that staircase door. Can potentially set it up, works his way through top plat. He's set up for the crossfire. No one is dropping. No one is giving him an easy kill. But you're going to use those tacks. Beautifully played right there for Major Maniac. Now you take control of the left side. All of LA Thieves spawning out at orange. 10 seconds away from Florida, calling series.
Can the Mutineers do it? Brack puts in another one. Last few seconds, Fico goes for the dive. Eventually drops. Somebody just has to get the
Lay down.
Claim your seconds. Win the series, Florida. And there you have it. Doubt us, why don't you? The Mutineers stun the LA Thieves in a much needed series victory. What an upset it is, and how sweet does that have to